Hello everyone, we're here in Albania with Wim today. Wim is a 4-time Ironman. Wim, tell us who you are.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. My name is Wim Verstraat. It's a Flemish name, so I'm from Belgium. I worked in Belgium, I had my own company, finance, insurance, working 7 days a week, a lot of stress. And then I decided that it was enough. So I sold everything in Belgium, moved to Spain, I think 12, 13 years ago, and started there a bed and breakfast and tried to change my life. It didn't work out on that moment, but it changed my life after a few years. When I was young, I did a lot of sports, but when I was 35, I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease, sarcoidosis. Had to take a lot of medication and I gained a lot of weight, and I let myself go. So I was smoking, drinking, obese for I think almost 10 years, more than 10 years.
When you say obese, how big were you? How many kilos?
I'm 172 and my weight was 92 kilos.
Okay, so you were unhealthy for many years and you were battling with your autoimmune disease. What made you change?
I don't know. For one reason, I wanted to start running again from zero. Just like I couldn't run 500 meters. So I had to start, there is a program, Start to Run, called, and then you start to run from zero to try to run 5 kilometers. And I joined that, and over the time of I think 3 or 4 months I could run 5k very slowly, and then I waited maybe a few years to go further. Started running again in Spain, then I moved to Spain, and I did a half marathon I think 5 years ago in Spain, in Malaga. I finished, not special, but I finished. And the week after there was a short triathlon in the place I live, Torre del Mar. And I just said to myself, I try it, because I did one when I was 18 years old, a quart triathlon. And I did some swimming, some cycling. I went in the sea, swimming. I thought I could swim, but it's different in sea than in swimming pool.
Yeah.
So I suffered a lot in the swimming, but I got out. Started cycling, and I finished my first sprint triathlon. I was lost, but then I met a Spanish young guy who does training. Started talking and started training.
So he started training you up for something, or you just started training together?
To get fit again.
Yeah.
My goal was to do a quart triathlon in that year. So we were training, I think, almost a year to achieve this. Started to proper swimming, cycling, running, and then in that year I did my first quart triathlon. And then you start thinking about more.
Yeah.
You feel good. I lost a lot of weight.
How much weight did you lose?
I think that time, maybe a little bit more than 10 kilos.
10 kilos.
I lost 10 kilos. And start working. Yeah. And the guy who trains me had a very good contact with him. Also personally, so we became friends.
When did you decide to do your first Ironman? Because that's quite a big thing.
Yeah, I decided to never do this because it's crazy, and people who do this are crazy. But you come closer and you do the Ironman has 70.3. That's a half distance. So that was my first goal, and then that's enough. So I did my first 70.3 in Portugal, I think 2018, and I did a few because I felt good. My condition was going very good, And then I was talking to my trainer and I asked him, what do you think? Do you think you can make me for a full Ironman? He says, no, why not? Just longer training days. And I had time because I had time to train. And in Spain you can train the whole year. It's always good weather, like here. Yeah. So it's paradise for training. Okay. And we started working to the full Ironman. Yeah. So I did my first, I think end of 2018 in Malaysia. It's a very hard one because of temperature, very hot and humid.
So that was your first
That was my first Ironman. And I finished.
Oh, nice.
And then, yeah, you're gone.
Yeah. So 2018, how long was that after you decided to change? Was that 1 year, 2 years?
I think the really change in my mind was 2 years before.
2 years before.
Yeah.
So within a period of 2 years, you changed your way of thinking, your whole lifestyle, and you started training, and you just finished an Ironman just like that.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of training. Changed my eating, stopped smoking, stopped drinking alcohol. Very important for injuries. Yeah. And the proper training, and not train 1 week much training and then the next week nothing. You have to continue every week.
Be consistent.
Yeah, very consistent.
Yeah.
And then I had a program for my age that you train 6 days, 1 day rest, 2 intense training weeks, and then 1 a little bit less. Yeah. So your body needs to adapt to the training, and then makes your body ready for racing.
Yeah. So you yourself, you never thought that you could do anything like this?
Never. Never.
You had no confidence in yourself, but all of a sudden somebody had confidence in you. Yep. You believed it and you pushed through, you changed your mind, your mindset, and you did your first Ironman. And then when was the second?
Very short after, because normally you have to recover. Mm-hmm. Few months after one, but I recovered very soon because I was training very low intensity, and also my races are not for winning, just for finishing. So I never go over my limit. So I recovered very fast, and 2019 was really for me special.
And then you did 2 more?
No, I 2019 I decided to. I qualified for the World Championships, half distance in South Africa. Was great experience, just surrounded by the top professional athletes and the top amateur athletes. And I'm not a top athlete, by far not. But I was there, I qualified, so I enjoyed it a lot. And I did 4 full triathlons that year. So 3 Ironman. And I did Challenge Rod. That's the biggest Ironman in the world. There are, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 participants, more than 200,000 spectators in Germany. Yeah. It's incredible experience. You have to climb a mountain where you have the people go open and you go like into the France.
That sounds awesome.
Goosebumps all over.
Yeah. To me, that's just amazing, the changes that you made. But tell me a little bit about your autoimmune disease, and how do you think you been handling that without medicine? Because you told me you're not on any medicine anymore. Tell me a bit about all that, how food and just a healthy lifestyle has kept all that down and helped you overall.
Well, the autoimmune disease causes infections all over your body. Lungs, eyes, heart, muscles, joints, skin, whatever. So when they discovered it, I had it on my lungs. So my lungs were infected, and I only had 30% lung capacity at that moment. So I had to take medication to recover and to build up again. So now I'm normal, 100% lung capacity. But it took me 1 year to take it's cortisone. So I gained 15 kilos in that 1 year because I had to stop doing everything. I couldn't go up the stairs. So, and after that I just did nothing. I just thought
Tell me.
yeah, that my life was finished. It's emotional for me because I was I was very deep. And then I was reading an article about a Dutch guy who made a test with people with sarcoidosis, and he found that training helps improve the disease. So if you do nothing, you're not going to improve. It's that simple. And he found that people who train every day 1 hour just almost stop the disease. Yeah. So at that moment, that was also a part of the moment I thought I have to do something, and started training. Also, if you have a lot of infections, you have to be careful what you eat. So alcohol is the worst thing you have for infections, sugar. And looking about foods that have a lot of antioxidants, so a lot of red fruits, to stop the infections. Yeah. And that helped me a lot, especially the alcohol, I think.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you eat now? Then what do you look for when you eat?
Just simple food, no processed food, vegetables, fruit, yeah. And that's it.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, just normal food, but prepare your own vegetables. I'm even now growing my own vegetables. Yeah. So.
And do you think you'll ever go back to the way you were? Is there any chance that you'll ever say, stuff this, I've had enough of all this healthy stuff and running and swimming?
No, never. No? It's difficult now because 2020 there were no races, so my motivation was really down. I was lucky that I could do one race in Norway. That's extreme triathlon. It was a very good experience because we were only 25 participants, and there were only, I think, 19 people reached the finish. It was a very hard race, so you have to swim in the fjords in the water temperature of 12, 13 degrees. Then you have to cycle to just from the swimming you have to climb almost steeply, all hairpin. Yeah. And then you have to run the beach over rocks and finish and that was for me mentally very important because all my races were cancelled. I had a goal for Ironman to go to Hawaii. Hawaii is the world championship for Ironman, but I'm not good enough to qualify on a normal way. You have to be top 5. But you can get a wild card from Ironman if you do 12 races. So my goal was to do 12 races as fast as possible. So I wanted to do 4 races a year. So I had already had 4, and I needed 3 years more, and then I could go. But then changed the world. So that makes me sad and angry because changed my life. Yes. And that's why I'm now in Albania. Okay. To maybe start up something new. Yeah. Here.
Well, that sounds good. If somebody out there is watching and they feel their life is at an end and nothing's worth it anymore and they're obese and unhealthy, what would you like to say to them? What is the one thing you think you can say to make them change something?
That's only one thing you have to do is just start.
Just start.
Just start doing it.
And commit.
And commit. Yeah. That's very important. Commitment. Just it's not going to change in 1 month, even not in 6 months. You have to commit. Yeah. It's change your lifestyle. Yeah. It's not just for 1 week or you can. I know people who changed for just 1 year and then say, but you have to change your lifestyle, and then you can. Now I do also trail running. I go running in the mountains. I can go for 10 hours, and if I decide today is a good day to do some running, I go running.
Do you feel like you're enjoying your life better now, or back then when you were partying, smoking, and everything else?
No. It was a fake life. Yeah. It was just running away from reality, especially the alcohol. And now I'm enjoying. I feel life.
Yeah.
It's such a big difference.
Yeah. Tell me a bit more about commit. What does commit mean to you?
Yeah, continuous. For me, it was following my training plan. So the guy who trains me gives me a weekly plan, exercises, and I'm very committed. If he says you have to run 30 minutes, I run 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Even a little bit more, and he knows. So he gives me less because he knows I do more. So, and he had to calm me down because he said, you are not 25 anymore, so you have to let your body recover. And that was his most important task at the end of when I reached for the Ironman.
Yeah.
To temper my training because I wanted to do more because I was feeling good.
So once you committed, was there any moment where you could have gone back, where you could have said, "No, this is it. It's too hard," or did you just really commit and that was it, and it was all uphill?
Yeah, I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
So I never quit.
So you're very strong mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It changed a lot with Ironman, but it even changed more with the trail running.
Yeah.
Because then you're alone. Ironman is especially Ironman is a big event. What I like, because I like talking to people. I've met people around the world from everywhere just by Ironman, and we have still contact. But trail running in the mountains is just you and nature, and then you have to be very strong mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that when you're mentally tough, it's like you commit and you don't need to battle with anything because you committed. But then there are other people out there who are not mentally strong. There's a lot of people out there who just aren't mentally strong. And what do you think they can do? Like, do they put something on the line? Like, personally, I think when people commit and they're not mentally strong, they have to have something else that they're putting on the line, whether it's they're letting a lot of other people down, for example, you know, like go out, commit and say to 100 people, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And you let them down. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's something on the line, or there's money. So let's say you're putting a lot of money in. If I don't finish this, I'm losing all that money.
I think it's more important to have someone coaching you.
Yeah.
And helping you. Somebody with experience about he needs experience about training, but also to talk to you. And that's what I found with the guy.
Yeah.
And that's I think it's important because if you do it by yourself, especially these long endurance training, it's very important that you need someone who knows how the body works. And how you need to recover and
talk to you on a personal level and talk to you about the things you might experience mentally.
Yeah. That for me that was the main thing that helped me.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself going in the future?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
It depends on what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm not feeling happy with what's happening now. So, and it's gonna decide what my future will be.
Right.
If it will be in Spain or Europe or maybe Albania. And for my training, for the moment, I stopped training for racing. I do a lot of cycling and running, and so I try to keep my level of condition good. And I hope next year to start doing races again.
Yeah.
I have paid for 5 races, so
that's commitment.
That's commitment, yeah.
Yes.
So I'll see. I hope to do these races and see what brings it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for all that and sharing that with everybody. Just dig deep and give me one last thing that you want to say to somebody, either about yourself or for them.
Don't wait for a diagnosis to change your life. Do it before.
Yeah.
And anything is possible now.
Yeah. Anything's possible as long as you believe in yourself. Yeah. Absolutely. you can make a change no matter how old you are, no matter what state you're in. There's always a way to make a change.
Yeah.
All right, Wim, thanks for that.
Thank you.